And we're back for another episode. Another week has gone by. Another phenomenal week. A lot of games. And we have our esteemed guest, Elan Shamsayev, part of the board, part of the committee, part of, I would say, the founder of the Z League, right? It was you and Itzik way back when I won my first chip.
Not gonna get into that.
Oh, it was against you. Elan was in the finals.
I put you there.
For all those who don't know, he was a top 3 scorer that season.
You guys rigged it too?
Averaging 25 points a game. So, Elan Shamsayev, welcome to the podcast. I have a question for you. What do you see from the beginning of times to AMI 2025? What do you see has grown, has been better or worse? Give us some input.
So I would say when we started the league, it was more like my friends and family, and it was literally geared for our people. And I've seen the way the league evolved. You know, for so many outsiders to come in, we didn't have it where we had like 40-year-olds and 19-year-olds playing together. So I like the fact that it's mixed up, and
It benefits you.
it for sure benefits me. I'm able to still get it on the court. But I like that. I like that it's more of a community thing now where, you know, the whole entire, you know, whether it's Forest Hills, Kew Garden Hills, Jamaica Estates, Fresh Meadows, everyone's together. And I think it really built an amazing bond amongst the Bukharian and the Sephardic community as a whole. And I just see that it's become more than basketball. You know, then it was just basketball. Today it's more like we're doing events, like, you know, Richard did a slichot thing last year, and, you know, little kids are getting involved, and it just grew. Barbecues, and it just unified just different types of people. And I think for the greater good, that's the most impactful thing that has happened in the past, you know, 15 years since this league began.
Yeah, it's definitely more of. I remember we used to just come to the games. We used to leave. Nobody knows what happened. Nobody knows what Z League was. They used to just look at us as we just play basketball, and that was it. And now it's like this movement where we have merch. You know, there's AMI. You see people. There's so many people. There's the games are live. I mean, people know we didn't have. Nobody knows what we did.
You go outside.
No,
go outside. People are like, "Oh, I saw you on AMI last night."
For the record, in the first season, you could watch on Central Y. There is a stream of a few of our games.
A few of the games. The finals.
There is
not
some
there.
sort of no. The finals is not there.
The finals is not there. Yes, I wish it was there, but
it was
it's
like
not. Unfortunately,
it was like iPhone 1 video, and guys were like recording, and
Zachy, you could do it again. You almost had it last year.
I did almost have it last year.
You had
to
pull a hamstring, you know, Achilles, whatever.
It was a different time. What made you decide to start the league?
so actually, I'll go a little bit down history lane. Me and my brother decided, you know, one week, let's go to the Y and start working out together and just like start hanging out. Because me and my brother have a 10-year gap. I think I was 25 or 26 at the time, which is around
Mickey.
14. Yeah, Mickey, around 14, 15 years ago. So we went out there just to, you know, spend time together and hang out, work out, you know, swim a little bit and play ball, you know, Saturday nights and whatever. And there was a guy, Adam, at the time, running a league there with a bunch of non-Jewish people, I would say, right? And me and my brother were like, you know, let's join the league. Let's check it out. Let's see if we're able to compete. And we got a few guys down. My cousin Igal came, my cousin Itzi came, Manny. We all came. We put a team together. And we were playing like freak of nature players over there. Guys literally were dunking and stuff like that. And it was literally every game that we played in this league, first half, close game. 4 points were down, up by 1. Close game. Second half,
Light green.
literally light green. Literally light green. They were dunking on us. We had
Embarrassing.
we had zero stamina.
Yeah, we'll get to that later, but whatever. Okay.
So that's actually a good analogy. Yeah, it's a good analogy.
We did a separate podcast for what happened last night. I don't know. Whatever. Okay.
The coach behaved though. You saw, right?
Oh, the light blue coach?
He was behaving.
He didn't have to not behave. It was a blowout.
He's a good guy. I saw he was on the sidelines. Listen, you gotta respect the game.
No, before the game, I went there. I said people were complaining. I said you got to put a good act today.
I think he does.
a good guy.
I think he does better when he doesn't talk. It seems like, but
he does better when he doesn't talk.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
I think
Did I just help Light Blue?
Yeah, you got to stop talking, man.
You know, I'm playing against them this week, by the way.
Oh,
so
good luck,
whatever.
bro.
Good luck. Good luck.
You need some heavy feet.
So we were playing in that league, and then we said, listen, we got to do this for ourselves. My cousin Itzik is like, let's do something. So me and him just got together, got, I think, like 6 or 8 teams together. And
The rest was history.
rest was history. We blew it up to 16 teams at a point, phased out. Then Ari and Mickey revived it. Then Mishpatov revived it. And then ultimately, we all got together as a board.
Give a shout out to Mickey. Shout out to
100%.
Mickey, man. Mickey, when you watch this, shout out from us to you, man. We miss you. We need you back in the league.
Yeah, but Mickey was also the first champ.
I know. There's a picture of you guys.
Just
No, don't forget who put you there. I don't want to
forget
get
who put you there right here, baby.
for the record. In the first season, when they won the championship, we were the best team in the league that
They were the best.
season, and they were the worst team in this.
They had Yochananov before Yochananov was born.
Who, Shachar Amar.
Shachar Amar. This guy was like 6'3",
I heard-
6'4".
I heard that
was
you
a
never
better
won a
shooter
chip.
than Yochananov. He was a
So
Jason.
let me get. I'm
Hold
not,
on.
6'4".
Hold on. I heard he never won a chip. And
I was robbed. I would say like 5 times. And
so the thing is, Elon, people are saying that you should hang it up, man. They're saying it's that
yeah.
time. What do you think about that? I don't know. I personally don't know if you should hang it up. I still see you have some talent. You're still running up and down the court.
so all I know is in the last 5 seasons, I made it to the semifinals 4 out of the 5 times.
You're getting there, but you can't get over that
I
notch.
can't get over the hump. No,
So what do you got to do? Maybe you got to
I'm
draft
trying
me.
to use a cheat code.
Maybe you got to draft me.
I don't want to lose by 40, bro.
It was one time, chill. I never ever lost by 40 in my life. Ever.
There's a first time for everything, but I don't have that on my record. So that much I can tell you.
40 or 50 you lost by.
40.
It was 94 to 44, no?
93, 40.
No, it was 94 to 44. You lost by 50 last.
You lost by 50?
93,
You should-
44. 90, it's
You should hang
49
it.
points.
You should hang. You should hang it up.
I'm going to drink to that.
You should hang it up.
You lost by 50. You scored the same amount of points as
By the way-
I've scored yesterday himself.
By the way, let me just tell you guys one thing. Shout out to Light Blue. They played an amazing game. Honestly, we lost that game ourselves, if you want to get into it, because they missed like 30 layups. But I'll tell you one thing. I called Mike this morning at 8 o'clock because I couldn't sleep last night. I respect they won. But I'm going to tell you one thing as a coach that I am, and I've been coaching for 20 plus years.
I could tell.
I told Mike, you guys were up 25. You don't press anymore. Why? I could take a hit. I'm built for it. I said, my teammates, there's confidence, there's self-motivation, physically, mentally, spiritually. You gotta let them. You gotta let them breathe.
I completely disagree with that.
By the way, Mike, you could even ask him. He agreed with me because he said
I don't agree with that because
even their coach said back up.
no, you could back. Listen,
In every league, there's courtesy besides NBA.
Correct. No, there is courtesy, but you have to also understand. Right now, you're developing players. You have to teach your players how to play.
Yeah, but we had no subs.
Again,
Why didn't
it doesn't make it.
forfeit?
It doesn't
You know
make a
you can
difference.
forfeit, by the way.
100%. But the
Once
thing-
you're down by 30, you can forfeit the game. It happened last
But
year.
yeah, but
the thing is, we
it's a
don't want
forfeit.
forfeit.
But how does a forfeit work?
No,
Score-wise,
the
score,
game
the
is
score,
over.
or
Third
you call the
point.
game.
Yeah, you call the game.
But the
It's
thing
not
is,
a
we
forfeit.
don't
You
want-
call the
we
game.
don't want to go down as being sore losers. You came
No,
into the
that's
game.
not what it is.
You
Coach
have some
Avi.
tiers-
No.
You have some tier sevens that don't get to play. They played.
First of all,
Say the
shout
truth.
out.
That's
First
not
of all,
true.
shout out to Mike Kanchorov. Anybody who comes out of my school somehow always evolves to somehow.
And we had him on check.
You had nothing on check.
They had him on check.
You can't have someone on check when you lost by 50.
It's okay.
People
The
don't
team-
score 50
Listen,
points
people lose.
total. You lost by 50.
Listen, people lose.
Yo,
It happens.
respectfully, you called Mike today at 8 o'clock. You know what you should have done after? Go back to sleep. Today is not a day you should be talking.
Again, you're talking.
Like, you should be hiding.
How about
Yeah,
your performance?
You should go.
How about your performance?
You should.
Your number one, tier one
Listen.
had 4 points.
We had a bad game, yeah. But
You had a bad
didn't
game
lose by
against who?
50. We lost by 10.
You were down by
11 points
40,
to be
bro. You
exact.
came because they felt bad
down
for you.
by 22.
Ari Isano, shout out to you for
We
destroying
were down
him.
by 22.
He felt bad for
Purple-
you, and he told them to back off.
Purple had an amazing game.
But
But we lost by 11. You lost by 50. I mean, how?
By 1 or 50 is a loss. Who cares?
oh, really?
Yeah.
Then why are you complaining if they're pressing or not?
No, because that's already different.
What's the difference? It's not
It
different.
is different. You know I'm right. You know I'm 100%
Again,
right.
I do believe there
Alright.
should be levels of courtesy.
That's
but
it. That's
I
all I'm
believe
saying.
that
But they
team-
should have called it. They should have called the game.
Guys, this team right now, light blue right now, their main thing right now is to try to gel together and develop their
No
play
problem, I
for the
agree.
season. They don't have the best record themselves.
They don't.
They had a couple of games where I think they beat Black.
The first game, yeah.
They blew out Black. They blew out us.
And they blew out you. They got to build that momentum up. And they should, their president yesterday, I think a lot of teams are going to begin looking at that and learning from them
You know what's
how to
funny?
play
They did it the
defense.
first game. They killed Black.
teams-
and they
but-
kind of like
No,
The
but
other
there-
teams
fizzled
broke-
out.
There
teams
were
could
games, I
break
think,
it.
that one time, I think Rafaelov wasn't there, Mike Kanchorov wasn't there for a game. So their team has never really
They
come
only were there together
They
2
did.
times.
No, they had more games than that. Maybe a secondary start or whatever. But listen, you have to know. We're gonna get to it soon, but I mean, you call yourself the coach, and you had no answer. Like,
But I'm playing. I can't coach and play.
Hey, listen, I want to
so
hear. I
either-
want
so
to hear the
hang it up.
rankings for this week when it comes up. I want to see where you place.
Well, yeah. Well, we're gonna we're gonna
I'm very-
analyze the game.
I'm
So
very
I have a
curious.
question.
Maybe he should
though.
hang it up.
I have a question. Being that
Oh,
you're
yeah?
here,
I should.
you've been in the Z League probably every single season we've had it. I'm assuming, right? You ever missed a season?
I don't think so. Maybe one season, but even then, I don't.
So if
think
there was a stat, games played, you're number one.
No, he missed last year. He missed a few games.
No, I'm saying from like the beginning, like when they had black and white
it
cameras.
probably means
Till now, he
probably-
probably leads the league in games. Like, LeBron
You
leads
gotta
the
you
NBA
gotta
in
do from
points.
Ami Athletics.
You lead the
From
league.
Ami Athletics, I've
Well,
never
I
missed
mean-
a game. Everybody else missed games.
You can talk about Ami Athletics to benefit you, but the reality is
this is like the
is that
ABA that turned into the NBA.
this goes
You were
way
the
back.
ABA that turned into an NBA.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it ABA, but it goes way back. So I have a question for you. Being the longest tenured, the
and
leader.
Egal. You got to give Egal his flowers.
By the way,
as well.
Eagle's
Did
playing very
Eagle-
good
did
this year.
Eagle ever miss
Eagle
a
Nisanov,
season?
yo, shout out. Eagle's having a better season than you, Zaki.
Did Eagle ever miss a season?
No.
I don't.
So we'll give the joint award goes to you and Eagle for
He has 5 championships.
He has five
for-
champ-
for
yeah.
most-
By the way,
He's still five
by the way,
championships.
by the
I
way,
love you, Egal. But
By the way, when you guys played last
love
week,
you.
when you guys played, he was talking smack about you, saying Elan Shamsayev can never beat me. I told him he can never beat me, and so he has to know what's up. 12 years, I'm still 12 against.
I remember in the red team we kicked his butt. Like was it last season?
No, he was in
had-
teal.
No, the season before that.
Oh, when he was with
Tom when they were like 1-40.
yeah, they
No,
were
but he
horrible.
wasn't there that game. He said that the game doesn't count.
Everything is on
Whatever it is.
the record.
I have a question for you, Elan.
Yeah.
Being the longest tenured player, what do you think is more important, to build a well-rounded team or go for a superstar? How important do you think a top 5 pick or a top 3 pick is in the draft?
Oh, beautiful question, Zaki.
So I definitely think that building a well-rounded team is the most important thing. However, I still believe that if you have a superstar and you put pieces around him, it brings value because sometimes teams don't have that guy they can go to when they need a bucket. And when you have a superstar, they are able to do that for you. With that said, the Teal team of last year was able, even though I think Ilyabayev has developed to become a superstar, I think he got picked a little bit later in the draft.
No, I don't think he's a superstar.
I think he's become a player who
Great
has
player.
become a guy that you
Yeah,
can
but
go to.
superstars is different.
I think he has become a guy that you can go to, give him the ball, and he's become reliable enough where you're able to go to him, where there are teams that don't have that maybe at all, like your team, for example. But
Keep talking smack.
that's a very, I think is an important
I'm a
element.
superstar, bro.
I know.
I don't know what you're
I
talking
know
about.
Superstar loses by 50, so maybe that goes against that theory. But
I shouldn't have came today, I think.
I mean, it definitely brings value when you can rely
Yo,
on.
put yourself
a guy
on the
to
team.
score.
I think, again, I'm going to say chemistry is the most important
Listen,
thing, but you need a level. It doesn't need to be a superstar. As long as you have an all-star caliber player in your team with good pieces, I think you're good enough. I chased a superstar in Yochananov this season.
And last
Just-
season,
Last season, I had the second pick.
It felt him. This
I
year,
had no.
he's yeah.
For me, it was very important.
why you had a good pick actually this season? You were in a good pick in the middle. Why did you want to go up to get him?
So it's exactly the reason that I'm saying, because I already built chemistry with that person. I didn't want to have to redo it again this season. So I like to generally gun for guys that I gelled well with. In the past, I played amazing with Solomon. I went for him.
I heard that at the 31st pick, if I was available, you were going to draft me.
If Solomon wasn't there, I would, yes. But I would still have taken Solomon over you. Only because of my chemistry. And I also feel like I'm able to work with
You don't think me and Yochananov would have been dangerous?
I think it would have been very dangerous, but I think you guys we could have also imploded because it's two guys who need the ball.
No, I could play off ball,
Can you?
of course.
Let's see.
What do you think is more important, to go for a top 5 pick or to build a well-rounded team? Would you trade out if you were a GM and you had the second overall pick? Would you trade out?
Honestly, I'm waiting to be a captain. Hopefully, I get the obligation to become one, so I could draft my own team. So I believe out of 16 teams, I would rather be placed in the middle or last. And I'll tell you why. Because in Ami Athletics this year, we have a variety of very athletic players, very talented players. As you can see, 1 through 16, anybody can win. Some teams have off nights, some teams have good nights, but in general, anybody can win the chip this year. There's no one team that you'll say that will go out there and just dominate. There is no. It's the truth. So if I have a bottom pick, I could pick 2 solid players depending on what tier I am placed. So let's say if I had a chance, I would be, let's say, as my choices, it would be, let's say, me, Eitan, or my brother Eli, or Tom. I have an inside, outside. Then you have to take a solid point guard. You could take Ozzy, Johnny Borov, Jay Shao.
They have to be available.
But they will be.
No,
because they got picked in the 4th round.
Again,
I'm not saying in general.
You don't understand when you're drafting.
Trust me, I know how to draft.
No, it's not about trusting.
You need to pick a team.
Again, what I'm trying to say is that when you're, I've been a coach and
you haven't won, so
again, but that's exactly the point. Is that when players become available and you pick a center, and now you're gunning for a point guard, and the point guards do not become available, and you're forced to pick up players.
But then you have other things.
I'm just trying to say it's not as simple as you think. There are shakeups.
100%.
Massive shakeup.
But again, you have
that you're making it seem as
in order for a team,
everyone's going to be available.
100%, Elan. But look, I'm gonna tell you this: in order to have a perfect team, is this: you need 1 star, 1 go-to guy that could score. You have 1 lockdown defender. You need a big, and you need 3 other.
But they
players.
have to be available.
They'll be available. You have enough centers.
Do you know
you have Ariel Pinchas? You have Remy.
Nissan of last year put together a team
that was perfect.
1 second. Who started 1-4, and he was in the beginning of the season told me because my team does not have it. We're not going anywhere. But he was able to go and throughout the season develop those players to get them to gel together. At the end of the day, you're going to have to pick up players that you don't know, that you're unfamiliar with, that could be chaotic on the team, and it's your job as a captain to put all that in check.
You're right.
And it's not an easy job.
In the league
you're making it seem as, I'm going to pick him, I'm going to pick him, I'm going to pick him. You know how many guys you could pick up 1 player that could ruin your entire team because there's no one else available.
100%.
So you're making it seem as if I'm going to pick my team.
Yeah, but you're not going to have
that. Not like that.
But you're not going to be in that position.
You know how hard he was trying in the beginning of the season to make trades and develop things for him to try to get the pieces that he wanted to.
Everybody says today, nothing against Jay Shao. I love him. He's a phenomenal player.
Jay Shao is an amazing.
But they're saying
player.
that he chose wrong by picking up high.
What do you mean by that?
Because you put him at 8.
No,
I think
Shao was number 15 or 14.
You had the 15th pick?
I traded down. So Moshe Tzchakov, I had the number 4 pick. Sorry, I had the number 4 pick. Aaron Matayev is great. I was going to take him. I really wanted to play with him, but I also wanted to play with Tom, being that we had the chemistry from last year.
So this is the question to you.
Tom lets me play outside, right? Because he's in, I can play out.
What Zaki was doing is, from the way I saw it, was trying to reconstruct last year's team, but have maybe a point guard. Shout out to Gabby Yakubov. They went to the finals together. Yeah. But he maybe wanted somebody a little bit more solid to run the floor and less offensively, motivated, right? Jay Shao can put up 20, 25 points.
Yeah, good.
Right? But he wanted to have a different type of structure. So he was trying to take last year's team and basically
change it on. Yeah. So this question is to you, Zaki. You had the 4th pick.
So
you went down.
I'll give my take, and before I give my take, I'm gonna say something like this.
But before you give your take, we still have to respect Shlomi for what he did.
We'll get to that. Shlomi,
shout out to you, man. Don't worry about this loss, bro. You fell asleep last night. It's on you.
He pulled.
Don't worry about it.
He fell asleep.
Oh, you're blaming it on him?
I'm actually going to argue on that, but when we get
not the MVP.
I love him.
We don't got to blame the MVP.
I love him. Where's the MVP? I haven't seen the trophy.
Any MVP.
Bring the trophy. I need 2 games, bro. 2 games, and I got everybody's vote, but yours maybe.
But I got everybody's vote, Zach. Any MVP discussion goes out the window after last night.
I just got to make playoffs.
Yeah,
I could lose by 40,
bro.
I still put up the numbers.
I could lose by 40.
What 40? 50?
Why?
He lost by 50.
Why could you lose by 40?
Because I suck, apparently, right? And you're so good. You cannot lose. I don't know.
You suck.
I should hang it up, no?
I didn't say that. I'm telling you from comments and players.
All I'm saying
don't blame this on me, bro.
All I'm saying is that MVP talk goes out the window.
Respectfully,
I deserve votes.
Respectfully, because of last night's game, a new position opened up in Ami Athletics as the official mascot of the league. That's what you need to be, respectly.
Again, you talking? Can you answer the question? Why did you trade your top 4 pick? Enough with me, bro. You guys have enough with me on the chat.
Okay, so I'm going to address this question. I hear both you guys. A superstar is needed, especially when you need a go-to bucket. Now, I'm going to say this. Last champ was Teal. No superstar. When I mean a superstar, I mean a guy who every single game will lead your team in scoring, or 9 out of 10 times. Okay, that's what I don't mean. Like a great player. Nate Levayev is a great player. Daniel Mordechai is a great player. I mean a guy who give me the ball, watch what I do, let me cook. That's what I'm talking
Nate
about.
Levayev is getting there, and
He's
I think,
not.
I
He
think
had
he's
5 points the last game or the other game. He's not. He's an amazing player.
Daniel Mordechai
what
could be
makes
that
him
guy.
great. What makes him great is that he finds other players and knows how to pass.
But again, can a superstar be a guy who's has an all-around game, who plays defense,
Yeah,
who plays offense?
That's a LeBron.
Okay,
Nate
so-
is not LeBron. He's not averaging
but-
25 a game. Elan.
Again, but he's still
not even top 10 in scoring.
Again, I'm not. When I'm saying superstar, I don't mean not a great player.
You mean
I
a top 3 scorer? What do you
top
mean?
scorer on your team consistently. He is not that guy.
So
that doesn't mean that's a
so
superstar.
Superstar.
Yeah, that's what it means.
I
Superstar
think,
means here's the ball. You are the leading scorer of our team. You need to figure out something with 2 minutes left in the game. That's what a superstar means. Teal does not have that. Teal doesn't have a go-to guy. That's a fact. Every single time someone else is
Do
going to
you
score.
have a superstar on your team?
I do not. Now, let me finish. You look at the past champ. You look at Green. They did not have a superstar. It wasn't Rafaelo scored a lot of points, but was he the go-to guy where he got the ball every single time? No. You look at White. Mishpatov is probably the GOAT of Ami Z-League. He was not always the guy. Eli,
He's just the GOAT of Z-League, bro.
whatever it is. Eli, Yakubov had a point.
And when that blue
Jay-Shab.
that blue team, when they had Yochananov, Mishpatov, Yakov Chaimov, and they dismantled teams throughout the season.
But lost in the
I was
finals.
Hold on a second.
No, they won the finals.
They won the finals?
And they lost
won
the
the
next year.
finals.
I don't think it was a superstar one. It was multiple, but you
Again.
can't have that. Yes, I agree with you.
But
If I
Eli
could
had a
have
good-
4
Eli-
superstars, I would do
You
that.
don't think
I
Eli
can't.
was a superstar then?
I don't think they were
No,
four.
Eli was not a superstar because there were games where he didn't have lead the team in scoring. It was 5, even 6 guys. Avi Rubinov had games off the bench. Moshe Yitzhak, they had.
So that means
they
according
had
to
a
you-
well-run engine.
So that
And
means
I
according to
believe-
you, I'm a superstar.
Yeah, I agree with you.
According to your knowledge.
In terms of scoring, you are a guy who a team relies on to score a lot of points. Unfortunately,
But let me tell
because
you,
you lost by 50 last night.
But let me tell
Forget
you something
last
else.
night.
Let me tell. But let me tell. Let me tell you.
Wait, let me finish my point. Let me
Hold
finish
on,
my
hold on.
point.
This is
Why-
good. I like
wait,
this,
wait,
bro.
wait.
I'm a superstar. I like this.
I want to just say why.
I like this, bro.
The why is very important. The court we play on
Small.
is so small.
I can't
So
do
if a
nothing.
team is playing a zone or a box
Can't do
one,
anything.
your capabilities are limited. If you don't know how to find your open players, teams will make you pay.
Unless you're Jason, right? And Jason has
Even
proven,
Jason,
No.
Jason has not
That-
won it yet.
And he was what 9-1 the season before that, or he has
yeah,
crazy
and
record.
you know what teams realize?
So he
We're
wa-
going to double team him.
Who realized that they won every single game the season
Elan,
before?
I'm
One
sorry.
second, the season before last year, and in the finals they were right there to win the championship.
And they got
right?
destroyed by Green.
First of all, I believe that most of if they played 7 out of 10, they would win 7 out of 10.
9 out of
times.
10 they would win.
Again,
Probably.
I don't want to say 9 out of 10.
9 out of
can't
10.
see-
But they
you can't
messed up
say-
because of the 3-week
you
hold.
can't- you-
I told them that. 3
You
weeks.
can't say that a superstar was not affected because he was literally right there. So it could be if they
didn't
would
have a
won.
good game there.
You can say that.
They had him
maybe
at 20.
superstars-
Hold on a
You
second.
can't
So
base it on that
I
one
agree
game.
with you.
They were based
Hold on a
10
second.
0.
Jason is a separate category. I agree
that's a
with you.
superstar.
No, he
Oh,
is.
100%.
No. Hold on a second. There's Jason and there's the rest of the superstars.
Oh, okay. So now you're.
If it comes to Jason,
now he's doing
no,
this.
no. Hold on a second. When it comes to Jason, I agree. If you have a chance to take Jason or trade down and build a well-rounded team, I would still take Jason. And look in the past, the trades that were for Jason wasn't just trading for, swapping a fourth for a third.
Okay, correct.
It was give me an extra second and it was a lopsided trade. So teams were like, hey, listen, you know what? Like I developed a superstar team when I had Orange. We have phenomenal talent because I traded Jason.
Listen, let's not go far. Last year, I put money on anything. Nobody thought Orange would be black. Nobody. Even black.
I mean, Orange.
But they came out and they beat them. How they won, God knows. But they beat them. So it's the
Again,
truth.
again,
you know that for a fact. You guys are a solid
I
team.
don't agree with
In
that.
our league,
I don't
I
agree with
believe that any team could win in any given night.
Any team.
However, if you're going to look at the records, forget about the championship, which is obviously is the goal, right?
Yeah,
If you're going
100%.
to look at the records, you're going to see
They lost 3 games the
you're
last
gonna
2
see-
years.
You're going to see superstar teams have won more games. Yes, they can choke. Yes, they can collapse. But in the end of the day, if you have
But Elan, you're not right.
available a
You-
guy like Yochanano,
But you were 6 and
or
7
you
last
have-
year.
Was I?
Yeah.
Okay. If you have a guy like Yochananov,
The last game you won by a forfeit, which
Again.
I still don't agree on.
if you have a guy like Yochananov or you have a guy like Jason available there, you got to be crazy not to take them because these guys will. carry you throughout the season.
Can I ask you a question?
So
hold on.
No
Can I
one's
ask you a
not
question?
taking them. We're talking about trading down.
Again,
Why is it?
First of all, chemistry for me, I would say, is more important, but don't diminish.
No, chemistry's
the
key.
superstar,
Chemistry's key.
Power.
But
that
let me ask
have
you a question,
of
Elan.
Jason and Yochananov.
Elan, the last 3 seasons.
That's crazy.
Elan, the last 3 seasons. 2 seasons that you had Yochananov on your team.
Yes.
The 3 seasons since we've been in Army. There's always talks about MVPs, this one down. How come Yochananov is never in MVP talks?
Because Jason always wins it. Jason Yochananov will win it.
So again, I want to tell you very simply. I think we're going to get into.
No, he's never.
We're
the last 2 years you guys been doing this podcast, nobody ever voted for him.
Guys.
Why?
True.
Nobody ever said Yochananov.
He's always in the conversation.
He's always number 2.
Yochananov is always in the conversation. First of all, Yochananov.
Nobody talks about it.
Yochananov. So Jason is the best player in the league.
Forget Jason.
One second.
Yochananov.
I'm getting there, right? Jason's the best player in the league. Yochananov is the best talent in the league. When I say the best talent in the league, he has the height, which means he could
Honestly,
play
I think
inside,
Gabiak.
which means he can play inside, which means he can block the ball, which means he can rebound, he can dribble, he can pass, he can score. The difference is that Jason maximized his talent. Yochananov is still learning and growing how to play the game. If he develops himself the right way, he is by far. I'm doing the best I can.
Send them to me.
But in the end of the
He
day,
has a higher ceiling than Jason.
he can be better than Jason, in my opinion. Not on those reverse layups and those crazy fadeaway shots that he does, but as an efficient and an effective player who could play both sides of the court, rebounding, dribbling, passing, blocking, scoring, 2-pointers, hitting free throws. He is by far, he has the highest ceiling, like Zaki said, but he's still developing, and his IQ needs to develop. And with time, and I'm trying my best.
But look at Ben Aron
He used to force
But look at Ben Aron
He used to force threes. Last year, he led the leagues in 2-point shots, you can check, and he led the league in free throws. That's saying a lot.
I'm
if he has an
stat
inside
king, brother.
game-
You don't got to tell me that.
But I want to just say one
But look
thing.
at Ben Aron this year. He babied him.
Ben Aron we were talking about MVP
babied
with
Yochananov.
Jason, and Ben Aron is a top 3 pick next year. Sorry, whoever's drafting.
I think he could
top
go
3
number
pick.
1.
He's top 3 pick. We'll get to that in a second. But I want to just
Jason's number 1.
I want to just end off this segment with one point.
Ben is on another level.
To talk about what you said about
18 years
record.
Very good.
When you look at the record, yes, regular season games, the intensity is not as high. Okay. When it comes to the playoffs and you're playing with a star, there's a lot of pressure, right? So if the majority of the season, a majority of the games, this one star was the go-to guy, the other players can start being a little bit more dependent on that star. Now, when it comes playoff time, a lot of pressure, the defending teams will put more defensive pressure on that one star, and they'll make the other guys pay. So the other guys need to be ready to step up and make that adjustment. And a lot of times when you go through a season relying on your star, like I called you guys out last year, and your players responded very well, and I think that's where you guys went so far. Mike Kandahor was aggressive, Eli Elishayev was aggressive. Guys were being more aggressive come playoff time, and you guys made a run. And I think that is something that you need during the season to prove. I mean, look at last year, Black. They were winning, they beating everybody. They were relying on Jason. Come playoff time, they played us. Abe Kandahor was lost. You know, they were nowhere to be found, and we ended up beating them.
So relying on someone completely, obviously, is not the right way to do it, right? For me, when I see a superstar, is just he's there to give you a bucket when needed, right? When your team goes on a 6 or 7-0 run right now, right, and you're falling apart, that player who's able to give you a couple of points to get you through the slump.
So you're saying it shouldn't be a full 40 minutes?
Listen, at the end of the day, you need a superstar.
Again, you got to go to him when you need a bucket. Obviously, he's going to do his thing throughout the game. It's your superstar's job also, like Yochananov did yesterday, which was very, very important. He got his team involved.
Yeah.
When he does that, you guys win.
Of course, because a lot of times he feels like he has to carry. But it's also our team delivered.
You have a very good team.
Our team delivered. There were games, and I could understand where he's coming from. There were games where in the beginning he tries to, get us going. Yeah. He tries to get us going, but we're not scoring. So he's like, you know what? I got to drop 40 for myself. He gets frustrated, and he's just like, if I want to win, I got to take things in my own hand.
Yeah, but he had 44
But
and
the problem is with that. When you're a coach, or you're a captain, you have to say, even though we're going to lose, you can't have that mentality because it's not a recipe for success throughout the season.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Zaki, we need a superstar. You need chemistry.
Exactly. I don't mind losing. I tell my team, I don't mind to lose because it builds us up.
Yeah, but if I lose, it's a problem.
Losing by 50 is not losing. Okay?
Listen, losing also is.
It's like kind of like I
can't.
I'm like, I just can't wait to play him.
Losing by 50 is.
You rather lose by 50 or lose at a buzzer
Coach,
beater?
I love you.
I would rather lose by a buzzer beater every single day.
No, that kills
Buzzer.
you.
I'm surprised you even were able to wake up
I don't
this
know how
morning.
I woke up. I'm
Or even
here,
go-
bro.
even
You know
go
why
to
I'm
sleep.
here?
Maybe you're
You
up
know-
all night.
You know why I'm here? You know why I'm here? Because it's just basketball. We move on.
I agree with you. I agree. We move on. But someone
I
who
hear
talks
you.
The only
such
thing
a
that
high-
counts, the only thing that counts at the end of the day is that trip.
100%.
I could lose by 49 today, and then 2 months from now, I could be
What's-
lifting up that trophy, bro.
What's my record against you? I'm 4-0 against you.
Against me?
Against Coach Ali.
We only played twice.
We didn't play twice. We played more than twice.
Twice.
What
2
is the
seasons.
record? What's the record?
He's talking about now. Back in the day, I used to take him
Yeah,
apart.
back in the day. Back in
And
the
with
day.
that, we're going to jump
Yeah,
into
please.
Player of the Week. Player of
Can
the
I guess?
Week.
Can I guess?
Yes.
Ben Armayev?
Yes.
Wow.
Ben
I thought it was LE. I thought it was
Arbayev.
LE train.
Ben Arambayev,
Took out
Player
Green
of the
Team.
Week. We already had him once, Player of the Week. It was so obvious. Whatever. It's not even close. He last night, besides for single-handedly carrying his team against White, a very good team and a great defensive team, he had the best crossover of the season. He made Mikhail Yeshayev look like someone pulled a chair under him
Oh, you have to say his name.
because he's a great defender. He'll take it with grace. Then he had this ridiculous up and under layup. Like he had another crazy layup over Gabi Hafizov. Best layup I've seen so far this season. And then he had the nicest pass I've seen all season. Did you see that pass he had?
Yeah, it was nice.
He did a spin by the three and just bombed it over 2 people like right under.
And you had your pass also last game.
My pass was up there, but that pass was way better.
I think there was a point where he had like 3 threes or like 5 threes in a row and went like kind
Honestly,
of 10 or 12 or one on
Gabi
his own.
But I'll
Hafizov
tell
was
you the
on him.
truth, the guy
Leo
gets a
was
lot of
on
foul
him.
calls.
Last night
Because
wasn't
the guy,
fouls.
because the
It
guy,
was-
A lot of foul calls.
because he knows how to drive in. He drives in with his body. A lot
And
of
by
guys
the way,
don't
the
drive
white
in
team.
like the way he
By
drives.
the way, the white team should play Normato more, bro.
White, he had a crazy 3. I was watching the game. Normato for 3. I'm like,
but
no,
he has to
and
play
hit it.
more minutes as a center. They need
But
him
yo,
there.
we'll get to White. Ben Arambayev, Player of the Week. We'll get his clips up. That was, I think,
Shout
next
out
year,
to Ben, man. Good
he's
job.
a top 3
First
player,
of all, represents Ezra Academy.
which
and-
you played for,
Which I
right?
played
and
for.
I played for also. I didn't go there,
You
but
didn't
I
go
played.
there.
and I
No, but
coached- and I coached
I
them.
really played for them in the
You guys
in
played?
the real
There.
like yeshiva league when they used to play like the
You
real
guys
school.
played
like
it. You
Hank
guys
and
played for them,
Flatbush.
and I coached them. That's the funny thing.
I hear. But anyways, Ben Arambayev, Player of the Week. Now, on to Play of the Week. Play of the Week. We're not going to put Ben Arambayev because we probably already saw his clip, so we'll choose someone else. Respectful Play of the Week. Before Ben played, I'm like, this for sure is Play of the Week. And then Ben showed up. But Hafizov, David Hafizov on Teal with the crazy up and under layup.
Yeah,
like
you saw
And
that?
it was like reverse up and
it was
under.
That was
up
crazy.
and under from one side to, it was like Jordan.
I gotta do.
watching
I gotta do
Jordan.
something like that to get one of these things on.
I respectfully, that time is long past.
AI. You can do it.
David, we'll give a shout out. Ariel Israelov had a nice game last night. Also, a couple of nice moves, but I mean,
You saw that
David,
block on. You saw that block on.
he had a
top?
nice block on Tom.
He had a block on Tom?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, it was a
It was,
was
it was like a steal or was it like a
no,
block?
it was a
No,
secondary block.
it was
Meaning
a
Abe
block,
was
but it
on
was
it.
a
He
jump
came from
ball.
behind and he got it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, he's not blocking Tom one on one,
I
obviously.
heard block. I have no idea.
But no, Ariel
he
Israelov,
has hops.
He had a great game. He had a great game. But David Chavizov, congratulations. Now on to the power rankings. Week number 8, we're going with at number 16. We're gonna go with
Can we go from 1 to 16?
no. We're going with
It's more
16 and up.
interesting.
We're going with number 16, Pink.
Wrong.
Wow, I didn't make it there?
Elon loves Moshe. I know.
I don't
but
love Moshe. If you put him at 15, I wouldn't complain as much. But number 16 is in this room right now. You can't lose by 50 and not be number 16.
I mean, I beat
I-
Gold.
It makes
I'm-
absolutely.
I beat Gold and
I
him.
don't care who you beat and who you
Yo,
lost.
Which week I play him? Make sure he
Pink
loses by-
lost twice.
Which week
this
I play you?
Bro,
That's
they
gonna
got-
be-
they got
that's
blown
gonna be
out.
Mark.
No way
They
that
got
they.
blown out twice in the same week.
Yeah, Pink got
Pink
blown
got
out
blown
twice.
out twice. It wasn't even close.
Yeah, but Moshe wasn't there. Again, Moshe.
Okay,
again,
you
Moshe
can say
doesn't
that.
make a
No, no, no.
difference.
He does. Moshe makes
He's
no,
reporting right now.
Again,
He's reporting.
when I say that he doesn't make a difference, when you say he doesn't make a difference, it's not true because
No, he does.
he gets rebounds. He's a body. He knows how to box out better than
Moshe was there.
most
They would
guys.
lose by 40.
Like most
Also, you're
guys in
captain.
the
You're
league,
captain.
No,
and
he's
they
the
had
captain, yeah.
and they had no one to turn to. Again, at the end of the day, captain's job is to keep guys in check when they're about to collapse. They came back yesterday against us. They cut it to 3 points, right?
That's only because you
and
played.
and then we fell apart.
Once you came in, they came back.
again,
You guys beat them by like 25, no?
Yeah, but
Yeah, but when he came in, they came back. They came back to make a run.
but again, it's not about
He's a
coming in-
liability.
So, what do you mean?
You're a liability on defense, bro.
I played the whole game yesterday.
That's why they came back.
How
No,
did they
you
come back
came
when
out
we
of
won
time. No, you came out of time.
I came out the last 5 minutes of the game. You can watch the
When
whole
you-
game. I
but
played the
did
whole
you-
game yesterday.
Why
Are
you
you
playing the whole
talking
game?
about liability
Because,
on defense? Seriously,
Mikey wasn't there.
You're the one talking about liability on
wasn't there
defense?
last
Yeah,
night.
So you don't even know what's
Why? You
going
still
on.
have 5
You
guys.
can't just make
You have
things
Shlomo.
up.
Play Shlomo.
He was playing. He played the whole game.
Who didn't play?
Jacob played
Mikey
the last 5
wasn't
minutes and he was
there.
injured with an ankle injury. I played 98% of the game yesterday,
Fleshy?
and we were up
How you walking today?
the whole game.
That's sore.
Not sore. Not sore.
At number 15, we're going to go with
barely move.
gold.
Wow, I even made over gold.
Light green was fair.
Even he can't believe it.
No, I do.
Even
believe
he can't
it.
believe
I
it.
do believe it. Yo,
Gold.
Zachy, yo, whoever talks smack about
Gold
it.
is on a 5-game losing
Down
streak.
a 5-game losing streak, man.
And listen, they played well last night.
Advanced analytics.
They played
Advanced.
well last night. Gold played. Actually, I was very impressed. Gold played well last night.
Imagine I make it to
But
12.
5-game losing streak. I mean, with this clown, you can just say they got blown. Whatever. It was a one-time thing. You know, crazier things have happened.
By the way, we beat gold.
But it wasn't 5 games in a row. Gold is on a 5-game.
We have a
losing
1-game losing streak, so chill.
streak. So okay, that's why gold is at 15.
Even when gold loses, it's still. I think I
You're
didn't
right.
watch it. The games are competitive.
They're competitive.
Come down
You're
to
right.
the
The
wire.
game was competitive too.
The game wasn't a game.
At the second half, it just got messed up.
We're gonna start playing only 1/2 games from now.
Yeah,
on,
we
just to
should.
give you a shot.
We should, bro.
Advanced analytics. First half, light green is going to be number 8. Second half, they're 17. At number 14, we're going to go with light green.
Oh, I thought
Coach
you just said
Avi.
light blue.
You know, I was on the LIR yesterday, and I see Shlomi.
Yeah.
Said, it's not right. You're ripping on my
Didn't even
team.
show up.
You're hating on my team. I said, listen, I'm not hating. I'm just trying to be honest. He's like, listen, you know what? But I want to say one thing. You always show Coach Avi respect, helping out the team. Like, you don't show me any love. I'm taking a team that sucks.
Yeah, we got it.
Or not sucks,
First of all-
but it's
first
not
of
You don't suck.
loaded.
Yeah.
BL
Not
Shlomi is
sucks.
very, very, very underrated.
100%.
He's a great
I
player.
think he's a very
Very
good
great
player,
player.
and I feel like you guys don't utilize him enough down low.
He wasn't there.
doesn't
In
play.
general, the
In general, he doesn't play. I don't know why he doesn't play.
down low, I've played against him. The guy is unstoppable, and he finishes. He has a good touch around the rim.
He should be playing 35 minutes a game. He plays like 20. But anyways, I mean, listen.
Shout out to my captain, Cap. I love you, man.
I told
That's how we
Shlomi.
together again.
I said, listen, I hear your point, but coach has been doing great things. And then I see the game last night where he's not there and you're there, and I'm like, you know what? Shlomi has a point.
Shlomi didn't play yesterday.
Shlomi wasn't there,
Oh, he didn't show up.
And the
That's
team
why you guys
collapsed.
lost by 50.
And Matthew.
so I think Shlomi.
And
Big
Matthew
shout out to
wasn't
Shlomi.
there.
He's
Honestly, I didn't know-
has a big presence on that team.
I didn't relax.
I didn't know Shlomi wasn't there, so I take it back.
And Matthew.
I take it back.
And Matthew. Matthew's
I
a
take
big key for us.
Because you for sure can't do it on your own.
Thank you.
At
I did it
number
for 1/2.
At number 13, we have Maroon. They
Hold on, Zachy.
they
Before you go
lost
to
this week.
13, hold on. What can we do to get this ship right?
Make sure Shlomi comes to the games.
Yeah, honestly, Shlomi needs to play more. I don't know why he's not.
Shlomi should be. He is a rebound machine. He finishes around the rim, and he's your
Big
captain.
body, and you have Remy also,
And you have
he's-
and,
he can
and you
shoot.
have and you have Ozzy. He's a very good point guard.
And we have
you guys.
Shlomi can space the floor.
And
also.
we have Yush.
I honestly think, like Zachy was saying before, I think you have to go away from the superstar a little bit. No offense. I think you're a great player, and what you do every night is incredible.
Thank you.
But you have to get your team involved because
I do.
more involved.
No, Matthew and
More
Shlomi
involved.
should be both having at least 10 points a night.
Shlomi
They're capable
should
of
have
that.
more.
Whatever, they're capable of at least 10 points a night. So
100%.
between you and Ozzy, you have to create a scenario where, hey, these guys
We're gonna
are
get there. We're gonna
involved.
win. We got yellow this week.
Yellow was good.
By the way, another thing that you guys could do is you can try it out. Give Shlomi the ball down in the paint, because even if he misses, you have Remy there to give you second chance opportunity.
Yeah.
So I think that could be an option.
Have you been watching our games?
No,
So watch a little bit.
I watched last.
He watched last night and then decided
That was the
I'm
worst
never
time to
watching this
watch.
again.
I think I watched like the last 5 minutes of the game, but
At
Yeah,
number
watch that.
13, we have Maroon. They lost this week to Teal. It wasn't the worst of games, but we're gonna have them at number 13. Number 12.
Listen, shout out to Rabbi. Played an amazing game.
Rabbi's having a great season.
Honestly, he's,
Right,
really
he's
having a
not
great
here
season.
today, unfortunately.
He wasn't here because they lost. He didn't want to get bashed.
Oh, is
like
that what it is?
I should have done the same thing.
but
Honestly.
Maroon
Learn from your saviors.
But Maroon, in my opinion, even though they're ranked where they're ranked, I think they are a playoff contender, and they can do some damage because their chemistry.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
There it goes. The chemistry weighs
Yes,
out.
yes,
He's a superstar.
yes.
They don't have a superstar, but yeah, they can.
Yeah, I think
They're a
you can do a little
competitive
bit of
team.
both.
They're a very
Oh,
competitive
you
team.
can use both, of course.
At number 13, we have. At number 12, we have Orange. This was not rated by me. This was not rated by Elan because he wanted us to be way higher. I don't know where.
Not way higher. I wanted to be a 9 or 8. I completely disagree with you.
I think
Coach
he's
jumped in and put us at and put us. He really put us below him. And I said, bro, after last night, there's no way in hell we are below you.
What's your record?
We're 3-5.
We got the same amount of losses, so I don't know where you guys are going crazy.
What about the losses?
And we have the tiebreaker over them. So if we're tied, we go ahead of them.
I just see a couple of teams that should be whatever.
We didn't play well. We played purple. Shout out to them. They had a crazy game plan. They created a lot of steals. We were uncomfortable. We were down by 22. We brought it back.
Last week you were projecting them to be horrible, and then look, this week they turned around.
I never projected them to be horrible. I think that they're the number 2 or 3 team in the league.
Talent-wise, probably. I agree.
Not just talent-wise.
You got to just get it together.
Has to
gel
create
together.
That's the problem.
a system where all the players there.
It's not
feel
Yochanano's
comfortable.
fault. It's my
I'm blaming you, I'm
fault,
just saying,
and we
this
have
is
to,
the
as a
situation.
team.
It is your fault
time.
because you're the head.
Of course, it takes time to develop. You have to
course.
deal with people and
That's
personalities.
what
And you have to develop. That's
what I believe.
And you're gonna grow.
Next week we should do the topic is should we keep the teams for a year instead of doing drafts every season?
Yeah, but the
I
problem is
would
if you're gonna
agree
have
with
one team that doesn't want to do that.
No, but
That-
listen, but it's
it-
hard. Every time I have to play with new guys.
It is annoying. You have to constantly
But that's-
change
but
the.
that's-
I'd rather just stay on the team and just develop with them.
But that's the art of this league, in my opinion. And I think it makes
You know what the
exciting.
crazy thing is? When you're ready to really develop that team and you're good, it's already the 15th
But it's like that for everyone. It's not just you.
No, I'm just saying in general. It's a 15th
No, it is
game.
annoying. You kind of it's a whole process. You just want to like.
It's fine, but that's the beauty of the game because now.
No, you could keep
But
the
now-
same team
but
and
now-
just do 2-3 trades
I
per
get it,
team.
but what I'm just trying to say is that for me to watch Yehuda Nisanov win last year, in my opinion, I think it's a beautiful thing to see a
course.
team who was falling apart and got their, they got their things together. So I think that's a part of the game.
Again, Elan, you could be 1-4, but they were one game before third seed.
Again, I'm just trying to say they had other issues on the team, and to watch the
They
team come
figured it out.
together, they
That's the
figured
whole-
out.
Of him.
I
They
think that's a
figured
big
out
deal.
because of
What
him.
he's saying
He
is,
started
I
speaking
think that's
about
a
them
part of
back.
the art of the game.
What he's saying is the figuring it out. If you play again and again, you kind of lose that excitement of, hey, you know what? We're here. We got to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? At number 11, we have Blue. Respectfully, I think you're much better. But I mean, last night you guys had a great game. But other than that, it's been a pretty disappointing season. What do you got to say about your team?
So about my team specifically, if you look at the film, we've been up in the second half, I think by 10, almost maybe not yellow. We're up by 6 or 7 to yellow in the second half with maybe 7-8 minutes to go. Every single game, we lost by a couple of points. So we have it every single game. We're up by teal with 17 points last season with like around 10 or 11 minutes to go.
What happened to you guys against Teal? You guys
So,
blew
again,
It was 17-0 run they went on, right?
They won like a 17-1 run or something. But in the end of the day, is that we have to figure out how to not collapse in the end of the game, not get comfortable, choose your shot selection the right way, hold the ball, not turn over in the end. It's about the composure. Our team is lacking that right now, and I think yesterday we did a good job.
Yes, it was good.
Shlomo Matata was playing very good for
He
you.
played
Sometimes you just
incredible
need that.
yesterday. So that's a
Shlomo
composure.
Matata's a great
It's
player.
it's a composure issue.
defender.
Coached by me.
It takes time to gel with everyone, and I think
That's the thing.
I think again, for myself, I'm developing, just personalities that I have to work with, the other players have to work with, and it takes time. Everyone's a good person, but everyone also feels like they're good and they should play and all that stuff. And they're right. And I just have to be a little bit.
You have to accommodate 6 people.
It's very
You gotta
hard.
accommodate yourself also because
Besides you.
I also want to play, right?
Yeah, of course. Why not?
Even though-
You have 6 starters. That's the problem.
That's the problem.
It sometimes creates problems. I
Yeah.
also have that, and it creates problems. When you have 6 starters, it's like, okay, someone has to sit, but they got
Some
like,
tier 7s feel like they're tier 1s.
no
joke.
Yeah.
At number 10, we're gonna go with Black. Not much to talk about because they haven't played in like, I don't know, a month. They're 2-2. When you play, we talk. Number 9, we're gonna go with White. They were trending up. Honestly, they were trending up. But
Two bad
last
losses.
night's game was, I don't know, man. That was they played well. They played well. I think it just Banner and Bayev just didn't miss.
So that's a team, for example, that I think you should be ahead of. In my personal opinion, I think.
But I will say that. But they're playing well. They are playing very well. White.
Did you play them yet?
We did not play them well. They're playing very, very
They're
well.
playing well,
and
but they have to
Orange is
fix up
not.
their rotation.
They're what? They're what?
They got to fix their rotation.
They're
John
free.
Almatov's got to
Yeah,
play
yeah,
more.
something.
John Almatov's got to play more minutes, man. He's He's got to get down there. He could guard. He could hit a 3. He could drive if you see.
He's very good.
They got to fix that
But,
rotation.
but they have Ronan Malakov.
I know, but they got to fix that rotation.
It's
Again,
you know what it is for a
I feel like if he
captain
plays a
when
little
you're-
bit more, I feel like as a captain, as he's doing a great job as his first year, and I was drafted by him. Sucks that we're not playing together, but that's another topic. But I feel like he should play more, and he's gonna help Gabby and Leo there. You know,
they
You don't agree with me or
they
you
have
agree with me?
No, I agree. First of all, they have a stocky team. They have a guy,
Yeah, they don't
Leo in the
Yeah, but
paint.
they're
They have
very-
Gabby.
They're very the
No, what
offense.
he's saying is they need someone to space the floor.
Is there a superstar there?
Ronan Malakov can space the floor.
I
They don't have a
I don't want to
superstar,
use the word superstar,
I'm
but they have
asking.
enough
They
talent.
have
with
Leo's a great
Leo,
talent.
Who can they go
With
to
Leo.
for a 1-2? Like
Leo. So I'll tell you.
Leo is that guy.
I'll tell you, Leo. Leo, in my opinion, he is an extreme talent.
yeah, he is.
He is athletic. He can get rebounds. He can box out. He can hit the three. He can drive in. I think his shot selection sometimes can be better.
Yeah.
And if he works on his shot selection and uses his body and his strength, again, we're playing them next week. So
You play them
I feel like I'm kind of like hurting myself by saying this. If he learns how to use his body and drive in more and not, be a little bit more careful in his shot selection, I think they become a much more dangerous team because something about him that people don't realize is that he gets his own offensive rebounds when he misses. A lot of players, they shoot, they miss, and then go back up again. He can go up 2, 3, 4 times for that ball,
Don't forget,
and he becomes a threat that way. And then you have Gabby to help him clean up the boards as well. So when you have that impact, and you have Mikey always open to the three, and he can hit it very, very well. When you have that, you have to be able to use what you have and take advantage of that. And if you take bailout threes, you hurt yourself.
And also, you guys are playing each other this week coming up. You're both 3 and 4, so it's a big game.
The big game, I think they're a good team. So.
At number 8, we're gonna go with light blue. I don't want to bring up trauma, so I'm not gonna say their name a lot. But I mean, last night was just
Second half. They looked like a number 1 team.
I'm not gonna.
But again, they didn't play. They missed 25 layups. They didn't make their layups.
I don't
Shout
think
out.
they look like a number 1 team. I think that
but they just
they
pressed
played
us
a
good.
team. They played a press against a team that just forgot how to play basketball. I mean, when a team presses you,
I don't know what happened. Yo, next topic, bro.
Oh.
your point guard should not be on the other end of the court waiting for the pass. The pass
Ozzy.
is not gonna come.
Ozzy, you hear this?
The
It's
pass
not me, it's
is
him.
Both of you.
Ozzy, you hear? I'm
you
not the point
and
guard.
Ozzy. You guys were like running, saying, "I'm open, bro."
Listen.
Then that pass is not gonna happen.
Listen, Zachy. I'm a guy, comes, drops 20, 30 points, signs autograph after the games. Let me just do my thing, bro.
Listen, shout out to Mike Kanachorov, my old
Mike Kanachorov,
teammate,
he's
Eli
better.
Elishayev, Nate Rafaelov,
They deserve that win.
Eli
Listen, they deserve
Matatov.
it.
These
You
are
know,
all.
Guys, you guys have to understand one thing. When teams come out to play against my team, Shlomi's team, light green, they have something on their shoulder. They want to beat the coach. That's why if you watch them play against White, they played like 40 points. They barely scored 93 points.
But
bro.
they
had 20 at halftime. They scored 72 points. You know what the heck that is?
again, they're coached, and B, they're executing.
Forget the coach. They played better without the coach.
They're executing that press very, very well.
Bro, they outscored them by 50 in the second half.
Yeah, because there's turnovers off
Yeah.
the press.
That-
Very
that's
simple.
crazy.
They went on a
Crazy.
15-0 run
It
on 5 straight turns. They had 2 threes and 3 layups.
Games turn into a layup line.
Light
Well,
blue, you deserve it, but
Light blue. Listen, light
let's
blue.
see what they do
light
this
blue
week coming
could
up
be a
against
little
Orange.
higher.
Oh, you played them this week.
We're playing them this week.
You better
Light
not
blue.
lose.
They should be higher as well, Mike.
Light blue should be high, but the problem is the past couple of games, the last game they played against White was horrible. They
But
had
they
a
won.
horrible game. They scored like 49 points.
Were they missing players?
They were
last week?
missing Rafaelov, but
that's a
wait,
huge
hold on,
deal.
but they still played very bad. They played very very bad.
Even Nate Rafael missed a lot of lips last night.
Rafaelov is an offensive
I agree with
threat,
you,
a
but they
defensive
played
threat,
very
gets
bad.
Rebounds. Okay, go on.
At number
Eli Matatov, shout out to you, man. Very
At
good.
number 7, we're gonna go with Navy. A little bit of controversial because I think people want them higher. I agree. They've been playing well. It's just that there's a few other teams that have also been playing well, so I gotta accommodate
Who
those.
do they play?
This week they had a, let me just pull up. I forgot they had a great game this week.
I know they won, and they won
they
without,
destroyed.
with
without
Dave.
David Natalo, they destroyed Pink. Shout out to Avi Rubino with another amazing game. They destroyed Pink. I mean, is that just Pink inability to play? Is that Navy Blues? I don't know. David Natalo wasn't there.
that's saying a lot.
It says a lot. Yeah, there's talk. Oh, maybe he hurts the team. He does not hurt the team. He doesn't. He's not a ball hog. They would have won a lot more if had he been there. So I have Navy at number 7, trending upward. At number 6, we have Yellow.
I still don't think Navy's gonna make the trip. Gabby, shout out to you.
I
Say
love
what you want.
I
Yellow
I love Yellow, but they shouldn't be higher.
Yellow, Ben Arbayev missed 2 games. and he was injured in another game. It was off a
First
bad
of all,
ankle
what
injury.
Ben Arambayev did yesterday was phenomenal. It was amazing.
No, but he's
What I
doing it all.
watched-
He's doing it
what I
all season.
watched was crazy. But like you said, if you're going to take a full team, I still think Navy as a team is better than Yellow.
So people
Again,
are
I think
discrediting.
They need to develop more
Again,
Yellow.
Zachy, he's right. You know why? If teams come out and put a defensive scene on Ben Arbayev, the other people.
Well, they
are
still
not
have Johnny
doing nothing.
Shimonov. Listen,
So
Yeah,
wait a
besides
second.
for Johnny,
People
they still
are
have Johnny
discrediting
Shimonov,
Johnny.
But
as
Johnny
a
hasn't
team-
reached his peak yet.
as a-
What are you
for
talking
sure.
about? Johnny Shimonov is averaging like
If you ask
27
Johnny-
and
I'm-
19
I'm-
rebounds.
We're not talking about
I'm not
that.
hating on Johnny. I
That's
I
the
love
problem.
Johnny. I think Johnny
No,
is
so I'm
incredible. I'm
But
saying
again, if you speak to
as
Johnny,
a team right now, as a full team right now, I think Navy as a full team is better. Yellow still has a lot of holes as a team. It's
Yellow
right now,
has a
there's
lot
two-
of
their team
uncovered
right now is
potential,
two,
yes.
it's two players
Yeah.
and Samekov who helps out. Those are the three main guys on the team.
First of all, Mishael had a crazy layup yesterday. Hopefully, we'll get the
understand.
clip. Yeah,
But
he had a nice tick at the end of the game.
some
But
some
it's
teams,
not.
some
It's
people
not
are
just
saying,
you guys. It's
some
not.
people are
They
putting
can't-
Michal as captain of the year.
they can't be that high.
We have
I-
Yoni Zaurov on the team.
If they develop-
He hasn't done anything yet.
if the team
Yaron Baruch
He
develops,
hasn't
on
had
that
a good
team.
season
if
either.
the team develops as a whole, we can say that. But right now, I think you put them higher than they belong. But
I don't agree.
I think
Do
Ben
you think
Arbayev
Orange is higher than them?
No.
I think as a
Definitely
team, yes. Via record, I can't say that right now.
They're
Right?
3 and 4. They're 3 and 5.
Again, I think if they played each other, I think Orange. Like I
So
said,
if
would
light
win
green
more
beats
games
yellow
than they
next
win
week,
right now.
if light green beats yellow next week, what does that say?
Let's see what happens. I will say this about Yellow is that they have two players who are extremely difficult to guard. Extremely.
Listen,
I'm
guys,
just gonna
18
say
years
that.
old.
Ben Arbayev has played unreal yesterday.
At number 5,
That was crazy.
you know, Ben Arbayev leads the league in points per game, just for everyone to know. At number 5, we have Purple. They scored it last night 49 points off of transition and turnovers
Against Orange.
against Orange. So we had a bad game. They
Oh, it's
ran.
fine.
They
It's
blew,
fine.
ran-
they blew you out.
No.
Yeah, they blew
no.
them out. The game was over
They beat
already
us by
at the
11.
end of the first
No.
quarter.
They were up by 22. We made a run. We came back. We got it down to like 6 or 7.
Didn't do it in the second half.
Second half. And then,
You want my opinion,
and then
Zachy?
they were just like going back and
Zachy, you want
forth.
my
They handled it. It
opinion?
wasn't the game.
Yeah.
Zachy, you want my opinion? Honestly, you need to fix your rotation. I
So
personally
again,
believe-
that's what we were saying.
Right
It's
now we're
very
talking- we're
hard.
talking about purple.
It's very we are talking
Oh,
about purple.
sorry,
It
sorry.
is hard when
No,
you
but
have
he's talking
6
about they played
starters.
them.
We have 6 starters, so it's a little bit difficult. We have
And
to
I don't
all
like
be
Purple's
okay
game
with
plan. They
sitting
put
down.
Irene Isanov at the end, and he's trying to get fouled. Jay Shad
I don't know.
fouled.
Honestly, in the beginning of the season, I did not think Purple had it.
Me too. I didn't
I
believe
don't
it.
think Purple had it. Even though I love Yisraelov's game,
Phil's having an amazing year.
I think I just didn't think he'd be able to carry the team.
No, but he has perfect
Like
pieces.
that?
They made- I think that
Eli Ron
trade-
Elishayev is
that
very good.
trade saved their season. They get Semecho for Arambayev.
How's the guy Aaron Bob? I haven't really watched
I'll
him
explain
play.
Very
to you-
good,
I'll explain
very
what's going on over here. Semecho was a better offensive player, but now they have Arambayev.
No, Aaron Baev's
He
better.
is- No, Semecho is a good offensive player.
Arambayev's better. He's
Arambayev
younger.
is
I didn't watch
amazing-
Aaron Bob play. So,
He's an amazing defender. He's long and they
fast.
press very well, and he's fast. So what they do is they trap very quickly. They get a turnover, and Elan Elishayev is already running on the
are
other
they
court.
are they averaging a lot of points per game? Are they scoring a lot, or
Not-
is it the
last night
defense?
they
Like what's
did.
going on?
It's the
Because
defense. Half court offense by Purple is not good. They are not number 5. They're not even close to that. Okay, but they're not relying on that. They're relying on turnovers from their defense to get them a lot. They're like Teal.
And-
They like to run. You know, Ari probably looked at Yuda last year and Teal's game plan. And he's like, yo, I got to copy this. So he made a trade. He got Aaron Baev. He got Elan Elishayev. Also a great
Run and gun.
transition player. Amazing. He was 15 of 17 last night. Most of them were fast break layups, right?
and Eli Ron's also playing well.
They're averaging
That's
68
what I'm saying.
points.
Elan Elishayev.
Oh.
Yeah, Elan was 15 of 17 last night. 34 points.
They're averaging
What?
All fast breaks. Or
Well, Eli Ron had how many points yesterday?
34
How come
points.
he wasn't
Him
better?
alone?
Him alone, Elan Elishayev at
They're
34
averaging
points.
68 points a game.
34
And
points.
they're giving up 61.
And I think he had
Wow.
points beyond 6 feet from the hoop. He had 2 points. He had, I remember, a jumper.
15
You want
for
to count free
17.
throws, fine.
Shot, 15
But
for 17.
most of them were layups and floaters right under the hoop because they broke the zone. They're
34
playing
points, that's-
very, very smart.
Ariel had 20 points only.
You can't really play the man because they're
54
So
points.
Eli Ron's a huge
No,
sleeper.
but
I knew he was good, but he
Ariel,
dropped 34
it's,
points.
It's Ariel
He had one of
Israelov.
those games.
Ariel
Yeah.
Israelov is kind of team.
Listen, they're
Why?
a slow team.
No. Let me. Ariel Israelov. We played man.
34
Ariel
points.
Israelov
He
killed
was
us.
cherry picking the whole game.
So again, you have to. What happened? Ariel Israelov killed us on man. Killed us. So we switched the zone. They put Eliran right under the hoop. They move the ball very well. They move the center.
He loves that baseline.
They put the and they find him right open under the hoop. Now, he didn't have a crazy amount of points that way. He had a good amount of points.
Who was Ari's second round pick?
Abe.
He picked Abe in the second round, and Eliran.
I mean, he traded. He picked him top of the third, whatever.
Okay.
He traded. Yeah. That team revolves around his Velo, because if you play a man against Eliran Lishayev, he's not going to score that many points. I mean, he scored fast break points. He had a lot of fast break points last night.
And now going on to the top.
Their defense is leading to offense. That's what I see that team. If you minimize turnovers on that team, you're going to be purple. They're not like a scary
you can't
team.
turn the ball over.
You cannot turn the ball over against purple. At number 4, we have Green. They lost to Gray, but I will say this: they had a bad shooting night.
He's beatable.
They had a bad shooting night, so I'm gonna give them a little grace. They are playing well.
Gabby 1 for 15 from the 3-point line.
Yeah, I don't want to say it, but
Shout out for Gabby. Yeah, the guy's
1
shooting
for
15
15
threes and you make 1. Don't shoot threes. Just driving.
Yeah,
He was.
I agree with Coach.
He was killing in the layups.
And how was Yosef? How was Yosef?
I don't know. Yosef's.
listen, Gabby's a great shooter. He's an amazing 3-point
this
shooter.
year he
But
hasn't
if you're
been
1
shooting.
for 15,
Oh,
you
good.
gotta something's off this
I
year.
feel like they got to
don't know
use
what it
Yosef
is.
more.
I don't know. When we played them last game, he played
They beat you?
2 games ago. They beat us, and I think he played it really well for them.
So
No, his inside game is
3-pointers,
amazing this year.
Inside is
so
playing well.
He's finishing nice.
He's
He's
very
a
finishing
Yakupov,
around the rim.
listen.
He's
All
good.
Yakupov's
He's good. They'll figure it out. I think it was just an off game. At number 3, we have Red. Very close game with Gold. They went head to head, and again, Red found a way to
You think
pull
Red
through.
is top 3?
I think they won the trade with us. It seems like because look at the record speaks for itself. What, they're 6-2?
They're very good.
5-2. What'd you trade?
I'll
Who'd
tell
you
you
trade
right
for
now
them?
exactly.
Huh?
Who'd you trade?
I mean, that was the whole trade. He had the second pick, and I made that whole trade with Yochanan.
Red is 6-2.
That is a very, very nice.
But Red was also last year.
Nice record.
Red was last year 9-3, and then they lost in the first round.
Again, I think
Teal.
I think it's important to say a guy like Daniel Yusupov, I think, controls the tempo.
Yeah.
I
doesn't-
personally think they haven't
talk about
played
compo-
anybody.
When they played
No.
us, we were up by them. We were
haven't-
up by 10 or something in the second half. At the end of the day, Daniel
No,
Yusupov
I hear you.
has composure
Daniel's having a
and
great
is
season.
able to close out games. There are many games where they should have lost, but he's able in the last few minutes
took
to
over.
keep his
He doesn't
taking
get
over.
flustered. He doesn't get flustered. He knows
The
how
moment-
to control the pace.
Exactly. The moment doesn't get ahead of him. He's able to take control of the team, and they have good complementing pieces.
And Alex Kakir is having a great season.
Yeah.
And Mike Yunatamov, I think he's like one of the top rebounders in the
But
league.
again, they're not a big team, so they haven't played anybody.
They
big.
do have holes. Like they lost to us. They have holes.
They have Mike
holes.
Again,
Drive
I
who
feel
can
like-
score. They have a rebound, and they have the point guard who's controlling the pace. A guy who can control the pace.
Is
A lot of
big.
guys play in other people's,
He plays his pace.
exactly. He lets them play in his pace.
Yeah, yeah.
Very, very, and he plays D.
Yeah,
He's a
100%.
player.
At number 2, we have Gray. A lot of people talking
Wow,
about number
I think
1
one.
for Gray. I don't see it.
Why is there so much dislike on them?
I'm
Why?
not hating on Gray. They're at number 2. That's not
Because
hating
they
on
beat
them.
you?
No, not at all. I'm not hating on Gray. They're number
They're
2.
a good team. They're 5-0 since Ellie came back. They haven't lost.
I think that if
I think he put him in the right place. I think they're
think
one
they're
win.
gonna lose to
I think
Teal.
they're one win away from being in the first place. But right now you can't put Teal under.
they're a very stocky team, but when they play it, I want to see Gray play against a team like Purple with Abe
beat them.
Kandahorov. If you don't have Abe, you're gonna beat them because Purple's small.
They beat you with Tom.
You're right. So I'm saying I want to see them play a fast team. That's what I want to see. I want to see them play
But Abe
Teal.
made Tom feel like a kid last.
Did they play Red?
First of all, okay, hold on a second. I love Abe. He had a good game. Tom had 20 and 17 last night, so everyone calm down.
Yeah, 2017. in
20
garbage
and
time,
17. No, he did not. He had 20 and 17. So I don't know what you're talking about. Tom
Honestly,
had
I
a great
think that was
game.
Tom's one of his best games.
Tom is coming back slowly and slowly. You guys are not realizing.
Your brother
had a great
is
game.
playing incredible. He
is.
last game. I think he
had 29 last game.
It was a close game. He closed out the game for them
Closed out.
single-handedly.
So that's why I'm asking. Is he a superstar in
No.
Zacky's eyes?
First
He
of
says
all,
no.
First of
Definitely
all,
better than you.
the
He's better than me?
Eliran
He's
is
the
carrying
best
that team.
Yaakov.
Eliran is carrying that team right now. Maybe that game, no, but in general, Eliran is
They're both
also
having a good season.
Eliran is one of the front runners for MVP. The guy is top
As long
5
as
in
I'm better than you, I'm
scoring.
Good.
Eliran is having an amazing year.
All I need to worry about.
At
You're my
number
age.
1, we're gonna go with
Try to beat me.
Teal.
When 1-on-1?
No.
They have the chemistry. They have the championship. They've been together.
Still, my brother's a top 2. Benji and Ellie. We're good, man.
Where are you?
14th. According to you, I'm 14, but according to the standings, I'm tied for 12th.
According to the stats, you're number 17, bro. You lost by 50 last night. So I don't know what you're talking
Listen,
about.
if he was up 21 and lost, it's worse than me losing by 50. I'm sorry.
Teal, Teal's
I'm
playing
sorry.
at a high level. You
And we
have
didn't have two
all
players.
5 guys playing well. All 5. You can get 20 points. You look at their stat
Benji had
sheets.
7
They're
threes.
so different every single game.
Benji had 7
You
threes
have
last game.
Benji hitting 20. You have Daniel Mordechai, Daniel Chavizo. They're all hitting
threes.
20. Neil Bayev, Alex
Everyone
is scoring all random games. They're all scoring.
Everyone is contributing, and Yudan Salam is doing a really good
And
job
Elan,
reading the other team's defense and adjusting every single game. That's something where I have to give you the credit for. He's able to find the hole,
What are
and
they,
he's
5
able
and
to
2?
exploit it in the game. A lot of teams, they study teams pregame. Yuda in-game finds the hole.
and
and tries to
Egal's
exploit
playing
it.
good too. Egal's playing good this season.
Yeah, he's
Seriously,
my,
he
he's
is.
my kryptonite.
Egal, yeah, you're
12-0 against you.
Top 12-0, but
And with that, I want to ask you, Elan, give me your top 3 picks for MVP.
I think Jason's always in the conversation for MVP, but this season I'm not going to put him there only because he didn't play enough games and his record isn't
2-2, yeah.
It's 2-2. I mean, he's always in the conversation, but based on players who actually played over 5 or 6 games, I have to go with my boy Yochananov. As I said, he's been carrying us throughout the season. We don't have a winning record, but I think with time,
Early.
It's early, but I think he is.
We're all losing.
Like we said, he has the highest ceiling, and without him, I think we're 0.
Okay, who's number 2?
Number 2, I'm going to have to give to Eli Yakubov. I was actually thinking about it.
Over Eliran.
Yes, only because when
I thought he was going to say me.
no, the reason why I'm going to say Eli Yakubov, I know it's like a jaw dropping. How do you call it? Everyone.
No, he deserves it.
Is because I watched him literally take over last game when it was a close game. I don't know. I don't remember who they played.
Green.
They played Green, top 2 records of the team. They're going for first place. He carried the team. He gets rebounds. He boxes out very, very well, and he's the only player in the league who's 5-0. I'm saying even though they're 5-1,
5-1, but he missed.
but he's really the only guy who's undefeated right now. So he's basically right now, in my opinion, carrying the team. Without him, I don't think they're a 5-1 team.
Number 3, sorry.
Number 3 is going to
Shout out to my brother.
It's going to be Ben Aronbayev.
Ben Arbayev, I hear that.
Ben Aronbayev is my number 3 pick.
Who's your finalist for DPOI this year?
So I'm going to have to go with always my teammates. I think Shlomo Matatov is underrated. Top defender.
He guards
His
one of the
hands-
top players, yeah.
We played a box one on Jacob Aronbayev on him yesterday, and he gave him a hard time. His hands are all over the place.
Can he guard me when we play you?
You want him to guard you?
Please.
Oh, yeah. Game
I
time
don't think
decision.
they're worrying about you.
Every team,
Respectfully.
every team worries about
I
me.
think you always had to put Gabi Khafizov and Daniel Yusupov in the mix. So I'm going to just put them. I didn't watch enough games to focus on that. But
Gabby's having a crazy year. I mean, all I know about Daniel is the game we played against them. Jay shot 6 threes on him, so.
okay. So
I mean,
I
maybe
mean
that knocked it, I don't know.
that's my take.
So you have, as your first one, you have
I'm Shlomo,
Shlomo Matatov, second Gabi Khafizov.
and again
Daniel
Daniel only because
Not Johnny Baruchov?
Again, I didn't watch Johnny Baruchov play. I
Having
hear
a
he's
very good season.
I hear he's good. I also think Solomon on my team is also the guy runs and keeps up with the best in the league. The guy doesn't get tired. The guy plays both.
he's good.
Both.
Solomon Cheek.
3 finalists for the finals. Who do you think? This is a loaded teams this year.
Say it here, man. Light blue, light green,
So
orange. Good night.
I cannot.
Why can't I get some love, yo?
I cannot take Teal out
Guys,
of
bring me
this.
here just
I
to
can't-
bash me?
We'll give you love. I think you have a very bright future in Ami Athletics as the Ami Athletics mascot.
Stop.
That I
Don't
think.
disrespect me.
I think you have a bright future.
Now, this is not a joke.
What finalists for finals?
So I think you can never take out Teal. I think Teal is, in my opinion, they're the ranked number 1 for a reason. They're the
Your
front.
team?
They're as much as listen. I say it the way I see it. They're front runners in this. I think my team has a very, very high chance of getting there. I think we just need to gel together.
I agree, yeah.
I think we do belong at 11 this season, but I mean at this
At the moment.
the moment of the season. But I
You
think
can always go up. Anybody can go up.
yeah, and then I think we'll gel together. And I'm going to give a 3A and a 3B.
Oh, you can't do that.
I'm going to do it only because
Are we in
I'll
it?
tell you why. I'll tell you why I'm going to do it.
It's gonna be
I'll tell you
politically
why.
correct, yeah.
I'll tell you why I'm going to do it.
I want to hear this. Am I in it?
I think Black, you can never take out. They're my 3B because they didn't play enough games for me to see what they could do, and I can never discredit Jason. I don't care what anyone says, but my 3A is going to be light blue after they whipped you yesterday.
Light blue.
Light blue is my 3A. After what I saw yesterday,
Oh, we
their
missed
coach-
2 guys.
That
So what?
full court
He
press.
always makes excuses
That full
if we
court
miss
press,
one guy.
I am afraid of.
Bro.
You lost to me by 20.
I lost by 17, not by 50, bro.
Losing
And
to me
I
by
was missing
17
my
is worse than
main
50.
guys. You're missing Matthew and Rashtomi.
What do you mean? Those are 2 top picks.
I thought you were the superstar.
I am the superstar.
So you have all superstars.
I had 21 out of 44 points.
And with that, guys,
What else you want me to do?
great
At
having
21,
you,
the whole team
Elan.
at 23,
Great having
at
you once
21.
again,
What else you want
Coach.
me to do?
Shabbat shalom to
Anybody
everyone.
want to switch their game next week so I can play light green instead?
Please do. We need a win.